It's November 17th, 1943, Verviers, Belgium, 2:45 a.m. Cold mist drifts across the barbed wire fence around the German motor pool. Rows of gray trucks sit beneath yellow lamps in the empty square. 40 vehicles, engines cold, metal shining with frost. Marcel Dubois crouches beside a drainage culvert at the edge of the fence. The canvas bag on his shoulders pulls down hard against his thin frame. Inside the compound, a guard lights a cigarette. The ember glows orange in the darkness. Marcel waits. Boots echo along the street beyond the gate. The patrol passes without slowing. The footsteps fade. Marcel slides the bag into the culvert and crawls after it. Earlier that week, Marcel sits on a low stone wall across from the motor pool. Newspapers rest beside him in a neat stack, German propaganda sheets printed overnight. The trucks fill the square like a steel forest. Their engines growl to life every morning. The guards pace the gate with rifles slung over their shoulders. One pauses to light a cigarette. The ember flares. Marcel watches the glow drift through the dark. He counts silently. 1, 2, 3, 8 minutes. The guard turns away again.
Patrol changes at 3.
René Fontaine watches from the mouth of an alley. He studies the boy with the newspapers. Marcel points toward the square without looking up. A patrol crosses the gate. The smoking guard steps away again. The cafe door opens down the street. René follows Marcel's stare. The pattern is obvious once seen.
Go home, boy.
They stop at the cafe after.
The black Gestapo staff car arrives 2 days later. Its tires grind across the cobblestones in the square. 2 officers step out. They grab Antoine Mercier from the crowd. Thomas stands frozen in a doorway nearby. His father struggles once before the pistol rises.
Curfew means curfew.
The car door slams. The engine roars. The staff car pulls away. Thomas remains in the doorway. Marcel watches from the alley. He says nothing. That night, Marcel stands in a basement room beneath a bakery. A map of the motor pool lies across a wooden table. An oil lamp flickers above it. 40 trucks are drawn in 2 neat rows. René traces the fence line with his finger. Too many guards. Too little time. Too much noise. Dr. Arno folds her arms. Marcel reaches across the map. His finger taps one square.
Sugar ruins engines.
The room goes still. René studies the boy. Dr. Arno studies the map. No one speaks for a moment. The lamp hisses softly. Marcel nods.
You understand the risk.
He already does. Explosives are impossible here. Gunfire would bring the whole square down on them, but sugar is quiet. Sugar is common. Sugar can move through checkpoints in a child's hands. Above them, boots cross the floor. Neither man looks up. René spreads his hands across the map. 40 trucks, 4 guards on rotation. 1 culvert beneath the eastern fence. Dr. Arno sets a pencil beside the drain line. The lamp flickers once and holds. Sugar is rationed in occupied Belgium. A family receives a few spoonfuls each month. Marcel needs 10 kilograms. He begins collecting it 1 handful at a time. A neighbor trades sugar for bread. Another trades sugar for coal. The crystals fill a cloth sack hidden beneath loose floorboards. Every trip across town becomes a risk. One afternoon, Marcel approaches a checkpoint. A wooden barrier blocks the road. A lantern swings above the sentry's head. The guard reaches for Marcel's sack. Water drips from the cloth.
What's in the bag?
Laundry for my mother.
The guard laughs. He waves the boy through. The sack grows heavier each day. Behind the motor pool, a drainage ditch runs along the fence. Cold water trickles through a narrow concrete culvert beneath the wire. Marcel kneels beside it. The tunnel is barely wider than his shoulders. Inside the compound, trucks rest in 2 long rows. Yellow lamps reflect off their metal sides. Marcel pushes one arm into the darkness. The tunnel continues beneath the fence. Only a child could fit through it. November 17th arrives. The town sleeps beneath curfew. Marcel moves through the empty streets. The canvas bag of sugar hangs across his shoulders. His boots scrape quietly across frozen cobblestones. He reaches the motor pool. 2 guards stand near the gate. One smokes. One watches the street. The patrol turns the corner. The square empties. Marcel runs low toward the ditch. He drops beside the culvert. The bag slides into the water channel. Cold water splashes his sleeves. Marcel crawls into the tunnel. The culvert is narrow and foul. Water soaks his clothes. His shoulders scrape the concrete walls. The bag drags ahead of him through the dark. Boots echo above the tunnel. Marcel stops breathing. The sound hangs there, then fades. He crawls forward again. A pale glow appears ahead. The exit. Marcel pulls himself through the opening and rolls onto the gravel inside the fence. The motor pool yard is silent. 40 trucks stand in 2 perfect rows. The guard at the gate flicks ash from his cigarette. He turns away. Marcel crawls to the nearest truck. His fingers reach the fuel cap. Metal turns. The cap loosens. White sugar pours into the tank. The cap closes again. 1 truck. 39 remain. Marcel moves down the row. Open cap. Pour sugar. Close cap. Move. The bag grows lighter. Truck after truck falls silent under the same quiet sabotage. But the sky above the rooftops is already turning gray. Boots crunch on gravel nearby. Marcel drops flat and slides beneath the truck axle. Oil drips from the engine above him. The guard stops beside the wheel. Smoke curls from his cigarette.
Cold night.
The cigarette falls. It rolls across the gravel beside Marcel's sleeve. The guard shifts his weight, then walks away. Marcel waits. 1 breath, 2. Then he crawls out and continues. The sky begins to pale above the rooftops. Dawn is coming. Marcel works faster. Cap, sugar, cap, move. The bag empties. 1 packet remains. Only 1 truck stands at the end of the row. It sits directly beneath a bright service lamp. The gravel there holds no shadow. Marcel waits. The guard turns away toward the gate. Marcel steps into the light. The cap twists open. The final sugar packet pours into the tank. The cap seals shut. 40 trucks stand silent. Marcel turns and runs. He reaches the culvert and dives into the ditch. The empty bag slides ahead of him into the tunnel. Cold water splashes his face. He crawls through the darkness. Behind him, the motor pool remains quiet. The trucks stand untouched. The guards never look his way. Marcel crawls beneath the fence. He disappears into the ditch outside the compound. Morning arrives. Marcel stands at the window above the bakery. Across the square, the trucks start their engines. One after another. Gray smoke rises from the exhaust pipes. Drivers climb into their cabs. What no driver understood yet, the engines were already dying from the inside. The convoy rolls out through the motor pool gate. The engines sound normal. Marcel grips the window frame.
Convoy moving.
Miles outside the town, the convoy climbs a narrow hill. 1 engine coughs. A truck slows. Smoke curls from the hood. Another engine sputters. Then another. The convoy staggers across the road. Drivers shout from their windows. Vehicles grind to a halt one after another.
Stop the convoy.
Engines die. 40 trucks sit silent on the road. Drivers kick tires and raise hoods. Nothing moves. Smoke drifts across the ditch line. 1 officer stands in the road and turns in a full circle, searching for an enemy he cannot see. There is no gunfire. No crater, no ambush, only dead machines. Back in Verviers, black staff cars roar into the square. Gestapo officers step out beside the motor pool gate. Soldiers spread across the street. Mechanics open truck hoods inside the yard. Fuel caps twist open. A rag dips into a tank. White grains cling to the cloth.
Sugar. Inside every tank.
Find them.
Soldiers begin stopping men along the street. Papers are checked. Voices rise. The square fills with shouting. Maps unfold across the hood of a staff car. Simmer points toward the alleys around the square. A guard drags a mechanic toward the gate for more questions. The town tightens shut. Marcel walks across the cobblestones with a metal bucket swinging at his side. Gestapo officers stand beside the trucks, arguing over maps. Soldiers question civilians near the gate. One officer glances at the boy. Then he turns away. The bucket swings as Marcel passes the cars. The boy keeps walking.